From WBKO News, local, first, now. This is WBKO News at 10.
A cold, icy night here in Bowling Green, Kentucky. The day began cold and gray with heavy rain, and icy conditions are expected tonight. This is a look at Scottsville Road right now. Temperatures will fall below freezing tonight. That could result in hazardous travel. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Gene Burke.
And I'm Chief Meteorologist Shane Hollandy.
Now, Shane, you and the weather team have been following this winter storm all week, and it sounds like the real deal with freezing temperatures and hazardous road conditions. What's happening outside right now, and what can we expect overnight into tomorrow?
Well, Gene, it took some time for that sub-freezing air to arrive in Bowling Green, but that finally happened a little over an hour ago. We're now down to 31 degrees at the Mesonet site, with a lot of areas in the 20s west of the city. So from this point on, if it looks wet out there on the roadways, chances are it probably isn't. It will turn into black ice as temperatures continue to tumble. First alert weather day that remains through tomorrow morning. Rain has changed over to a light wintry mix. We're now down to 30 for the Mesonet temp here in Bowling Green. Most Mesonet readings west of the city now into the 20s, 25 for Greenville and Madisonville. There are numerous power outages have been reported over the Pennyroyal area around Hopkinsville and Madisonville. Here in Bowling Green, I think we're going to get by easy as far as that's concerned, with any light icing being on the minor side at this point. On Max Storm on the radar, you can see more significant moisture now showing off to the north and east of Bowling Green, a mixture of sleet and freezing rain. Also rain still around Columbia, where the temperature is holding just a little bit above the freezing mark at this time. There's a look at Scottsville Road. It's just wet, but we are getting reports that bridges and overpasses are freezing up in and around the Bowling Green area, and road crews are out salting those major thoroughfares. Of course, secondary roads along with bridges and overpasses will be the first to ice up. Here's Future Max. We're going to be dealing with some light freezing rain, light sleet, changing to light snow overnight. There could be some minor snow accumulation. That will move on out of here tomorrow morning. But notice temperatures during the day Friday, they do not get above the freezing mark. So slippery roadways, still a good bet, at least through tomorrow morning. Beyond that, well, we got a weekend that looks chilly. We're going to tell you more about that in the forecast in just a few minutes. Gene?
As you know, Shane, the rain has stopped here in Bowling Green, but as the temperatures continue to drop below freezing, the water on the roads will turn to ice. That means hazardous road conditions. Meteorologist Raquel Dominguez is braving the weather for us here in downtown Bowling Green. What's it like out there, Raquel?
Hey, Gene. Yes, I am out here actually with Brett Alper. He is helping me out here, bearing the elements with me, so shout out to him. We're not really seeing any kind of precipitation falling right here in downtown Bowling Green, but man, is it cold. And almost every single car that we passed by had a glaze of ice over their windshield. So even though we're not seeing much of a wintry mix fall here in downtown specifically, we will advise you guys to allow for some extra moments or extra minutes to warm up your car before you head out if you do have to commute tonight or early tomorrow morning, and take some extra time as well to scrape that ice off of your vehicle. We're also getting reports that salt crews are now in Warren County salting those roads for us, doing the hard work for us to make tomorrow morning's commute much more safe for us here through South Central Kentucky. And we're also dealing with breezy winds. It is so cold out here. We're freezing. But otherwise, though, we're doing just fine. Back to you, Gene.
All right, thank you, Raquel. And we understand the wind chill is 20 degrees, so yeah, that's why you're so cold downtown right now. As the temperatures drop here in Kentucky, we're also following any power outages in Bowling Green and the Commonwealth. We're not seeing any outages in Warren County or any neighboring counties at the moment, but there are counties in western Kentucky experiencing outages. Webster, Lyon, Caldwell, Callaway, and Hopkins County are all experiencing outages. Data shows Hopkins and Callaway counties have the highest number of people without power. To see if your area is experiencing a power outage, you can go to poweroutage.us/Kentucky. We're taking a look at the icy conditions in South Central Kentucky through your eyes tonight. Some of the scenes are quite beautiful, but others show damage. Here's a close-up of a tree in central Kentucky as the branch is coated with ice and it dangles from the pieces of pine. Other trees turned completely white, as you can see in this tree in Muhlenberg County, but other areas saw damage. This tree went down in Elizabethtown. And we want to see more. Please submit your weather photos and videos to WBKO.com/photos or use the WBKO News app. You can see your photos in our newscast. And we here at WBKO will be keeping everyone informed of the latest winter storm info from our website to our social media. You can find all the latest updates on WBKO.com or follow us on Twitter at WBKO TV or like our Facebook page, WBKO News. New tonight, Bowling Green city leaders are aiming to help neighborhoods take control of how they'll rebuild after December's tornadoes. Reporter Kelly Dean explains.
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Beasley Brown.
On Tuesday night, the Board of Commissioners voting to temporarily suspend issuing multifamily building permits and rezonings in parts of the city.
And so we want to preserve as many of our single-family neighborhoods as we can because it is an ongoing challenge in this market.
This is a move to help protect areas ravaged by the December tornadoes.
It's allowing what existed December 10th to continue to exist.
Specifically, the moratorium prevents multifamily housing like duplexes and apartments from being built in place of single-family homes.
For example, a large portion of Briarwood is zoned RM3 multifamily, but is single-family in character. So one of those nice homes could be torn down and then put, let's say, a fourplex back in its place when there's nothing else like that in that area.
Neighborhoods include portions of Briarwood, Whispering Hills, Covington, Magnolia, and Nutwood areas. Now, these neighborhoods have previously been approved for mixed zoning, even though many of them are comprised of single-family homes.
We found where the zoning wasn't really consistent, and there were some loopholes where multifamily could go in and replace a single-family original home.
The moratorium lasts 180 days.
This is not commission-driven. This is neighborhood-driven.
Reporting in Bowling Green, I'm Kelly Dean, WBKO News.
Residents in the historic Magnolia and Nutwood areas met last month to discuss their plans. The next neighborhood meeting will take place with the Briarwood neighborhood on February 15th at Crossland Community Church.
This is WBKO News at 10.
Looking for dinner made easy? Move over meal prep and make way for pre-chopped and pre-portioned ingredients. Hit the road hard to follow recipes and say hello to easy breezy meals. Peace out, pile of dishes, and welcome easy cleanup. Well, hello there, Home Chef. Home Chef oven ready meals, pre-chopped and pre-portioned recipes without the prep or mess. Get 10 free meals at homechef.com. Home Chef, delicious meat simple.
This can't be right.
Trouble with your taxes? You know, filing your taxes doesn't have to be complicated. With Tax Act, filing is simple. Incoming! Switch to Tax Act and start for free.
Nerds! Have new money goals? NerdWallet can help you find the mortgage lender to make them happen. Like getting a low rate on a downtown loft? We can help find the right lender. Or move out of the city since you're virtual now? We can find you loans for that. Want to refinance your home, free up cash, and redo your kitchen/home office? Yup, we've got tips for that too. Whether you refi or buy, easily discover and compare the smartest mortgage lenders. For all your money questions, turn to the nerds.
Nissan.
President Biden has yet to make a decision on the Supreme Court replacement for Justice Stephen Breyer, other than to say it would be a black woman. Today we asked Senator Rand Paul if he could come to a compromise with Democrats on who takes over that seat.
I think we just have to see who they nominate, and then I'm for judging them based on their characters, and their intelligence and their knowledge of the law. I can tell you one thing we won't do. We will not behave like the, uncontrolled adolescents that the Democrats did. We will not accuse people falsely of rape. We will not go back into someone's dating history when they were in high school. We're not going to do what the Democrats did. I will treat whoever they nominate with respect.
Paul is referring to the Democrats' treatment of Justice Brett Kavanaugh during his confirmation hearings back in 2018. Paul said he was embarrassed for our country during those proceedings. The Bowling Green man is in the Warren County Regional Jail charged with possession of numerous images of child porn. According to police, 35-year-old William R. Bennett was arrested on 150 counts of possession of matter portraying a sexual performance by a minor. Through the investigation, the cyber tips reviewed by police contained more than 150 images and videos depicting nude girls between the ages of 6 and 11 being sexually assaulted or posing in a sexual manner. Bennett is being held on a $50,000 cash bond. Ice is not nice. Travel conditions are going downhill as quickly as the temperature tonight. Chief Meteorologist Shane Hollandy has the latest on our ongoing winter storm next.
This stock market report is brought to you by the retirement planning specialists at Tony Walker Financial.
With Home Chef, you're home free when you're craving a home-cooked meal. Our oven-ready meal kits are easy to make and even easier to love. When it comes to making dinner, fill in the blanks with Home Chef. Delicious, meat simple. Get $90 off when you sign up at homechef.com. With Home Chef, you're not just home cooking, you're home acing it. Our convenient options are ready in as little as 15 minutes and way quicker than takeout. When it comes to making dinner, fill in the blanks with Home Chef. Delicious, meat simple. Get $90 off when you sign up at homechef.com.
Nerds! Dreaming of a new home? Let's compare your way there. Before you buy, NerdWallet helps you easily compare rates and find the smartest mortgage for you. Use our regularly updated lists to compare cashback cards that reward you for furnishing your new space. And our pros and cons help you compare and find the best financial products for you, all in one place. Compare your way there. Find the smartest financial products for you on NerdWallet.
Nerds! Have new money goals this year? NerdWallet can help make them happen. Like getting auto insurance to match your new 0-mile commute? We have tools for that. Want to refinance your mortgage and put those savings into the college fund? We have tips for that too. Or get a low-interest credit card for your long-awaited honeymoon? We can help you find the one. Credit card, that is. Discover and compare the smartest credit cards, mortgage lenders, and more on NerdWallet. For all your money questions, turn to the nerds.
First Alert Weather, sponsored by MedCenter Health.
One bit of good news out of this event, we didn't see that freezing line drop into Bowling Green until late this evening, so we're going to get off rather easy as far as significant icing goes here in the city, but still some minor icing is going to lead to some travel headaches overnight into Friday morning, and thus our First Alert Weather Day still up for the period. Here's Max Storm, radar in motion, showing mostly pink here. And yes, it looks like it's snow there between Munfordville and Glasgow, but we know from surface observations that we're dealing with mostly freezing rain now north and east of Bowling Green along I-65 into Munfordville. Also to Greensburg, Campbellsville, you're witnessing the changeover from rain now to freezing rain. Light rain continues in Columbia down to the southeastern corner of the viewing area where temperatures are still just a hair above the 32-degree mark. Back to the west, some light moisture showing up around Beaver Dam and Hartford. The steadiest, heaviest rainfall has now moved off to the north and to the east, and that's a good thing now that we are below freezing here in Bowling Green. That will keep additional icing to a minimum. That said, there is some sleet and freezing rain showing up here across western parts of Tennessee that is moving in our direction. So there's still potential for some more light icing overnight and even some light snow on the backside of this system, seeing that now across northwest Tennessee around the Union City, Tennessee area. And here's a broader scope, a massive storm system here loaded with moisture now heading toward the eastern United States. Snow on the northern end of it from Columbus, Indianapolis, all the way down through southern Missouri and even back into Oklahoma. So we still have some moisture to roll through the region tonight and tomorrow morning before we are completely through with this system, which, by the way, produced a killer tornado today down in Alabama, southwest of Birmingham. One person reported dead there, unfortunately. Ice storm warning, that's still technically up for Bowling Green and points to the north and west, even though ice storm criteria is not going to be met here locally at this point. That said, we will have some icing overnight, and winter weather advisories are up to the south and east of the city, along with the flood watch. That's still in effect for our southeasternmost sections, and everybody's picked up a lot of rainfall today. Over 2 inches in Franklin, almost that amount for Bowling Green. This on top of the inch plus that we saw yesterday. So in some cases, we have seen upwards of 3 inches of rain over the last 2 days. We could use a chance to dry out, and we're certainly going to get that over the next several days beyond tomorrow morning. Right now, 31 in Bowling Green. We have cooled to 30 at the Mesonet location on the WKU farm. So now that we're below freezing, if you see a roadway and it looks wet, assume that it's not, assume that it is icy. Wind chill values now 24 at the airport, down to 20 at the Mesonet site at last check. Here is I-165 in Russellville Road. Of course, these major thoroughfares have gotten the treatment from the road crews. They are out salting the roads as we speak. 31 degrees, the airport reading now. The wind from the north-northwest at 7, producing that feels like reading of 24 degrees. 27 over in Elkton. Roads, again, looking wet there around the courthouse, but assume they're not. You've been below freezing for a while out there to the west. Meanwhile, in Columbia, you're holding on to just plain rain. You're just 1 degree above freezing at the moment, while it's 26 in Litchfield. And I did see a salt truck go right around the old courthouse here just a little while ago, spraying the salt and hopefully melting off some of that ice that could be forming on the streets tonight. Here's Future Max in motion. Temperatures dropping into the 20s overnight. The pink zone, that would be a mix of freezing rain and sleet. What we see at this point is going to be on the light side, but again, it does not take much icing to produce hazardous travel conditions, and that's what we expect from many areas overnight into tomorrow morning. A little light snow on the backside of the system. Amounts there would be minor, and then all the moisture is gone by tomorrow afternoon. Temperatures in the 20s during the day. We're going to barely make it above 30 tomorrow afternoon, so not much melting with any snow and or ice. And look at these feels like readings, staying in the teens during the day tomorrow, tumbling into the single digits to near zero, in some cases below zero, especially upstate. Look at that, 25 below projected for Louisville Saturday morning. That's some serious cold to start the weekend. Icing, heaviest amounts, again, along the Western Kentucky Parkway. Most of the heaviest icing has moved on, generally less than 1/10 of an inch now for Bowling Green, with a little bit of sleet and snow a possibility overnight. Temperatures falling to a low of 24 and then rising to a high of only 31 tomorrow, with light snow showers ending by midday, and then we're dry all the way through the remainder of the next 7-day period. Cold to start the weekend, only 35 for the high Saturday, and then we bounce back to the mid-40s Sunday, 50 showing up next Wednesday. Lows at night down to 17 Saturday night, and moderation there into the 20s by the middle of next week. Know the weather by downloading the First Alert weather app for your iPhone or Android. Gene?
Thank you, James. The pandemic has left many parents questioning what kind of education is best for their kids, with federal data showing an increase in homeschooling. This renewed interest comes at the same time companies are offering a bridge between the classroom and the living room are expanding, drawing concern from both public school and homeschool advocates. Here's our national investigative team's Lee Zurich with By the Book.
A public school parent tells friends on Facebook she paid for this stack of Christmas presents with taxpayer money.
State education resources are not to be spent on personalized items.
Items like a pricey American Girl doll that for history students can again be paid for by taxpayer dollars.
If you love history, your child loves history, you can buy an American Girl doll for your child in the name of history.
We found thousands of families across the country are able to use public school dollars to buy Netflix subscriptions, basketball goals, hoverboards, or even karate lessons and snorkeling equipment. And for the parents, it's all just a part of a school program designed by for-profit companies, approved by and funneled through school districts.
$1,700 a year?
$1,700 per child per year.
That's a lot of money.
It absolutely is.
But it's taxpayer money, too.
It absolutely is.
Kylene Varner homeschools her 3 kids in Indiana, one of the states where this program operates. She pays for their education, including supplies, out of her own pocket. So she was curious when she discovered a private company operating in at least 7 states across the country that offers a unique public school path for parents and students, essentially homeschooling with the backing of a school district, including some financial support.
In many ways, they are behaving like homeschool families, but they're using taxpayer dollars to do it.
One of the largest of these private operators in the country is Utah-based TechTrep Academy. Our analysis of records from 6 states shows last school year TechTrep Academy and its sister company were paid at least $45 million in public funding. TechTrep declined our repeated requests for interviews, but has touted its program in YouTube videos.
And it's essential to involve parents in the personalization of a child's education.
Here's how the model works. School districts sign an agreement with one of these companies, like TechTrep Academy, to be a bridge program. The school district keeps some of the money and then sends a percentage of their state funding to the provider. Some of that money goes to parents to pay for education supplies, which may include the dolls and presents we told you about earlier. The rest stays with the company. Before Rich Moore retired as a superintendent of a school district in Idaho, he brought in companies including TechTrep Academy to start the Idaho Home Learning Academy. His district has an exclusive contract with TechTrep, so all students enrolled in the program are students in this district, even if they live on the other side of the state.
We like innovation and being on the leading edge of doing good things in education.
He believes this model, while it may be seen as unusual now, is what we'll see more of in the future because of widespread interest in virtual learning.
I think that in our day and age where things are becoming more and more virtual, I think that that's not odd at all. I think that's the trend.
You believe this model, they're going to go after other states?
Absolutely. That's their plan.
The laws under which programs like TechTrep Academy or similar companies are allowed to operate differ from state to state, and some of those laws may be changing. The National Conference of State Legislatures found of the 120 bills related to school choice filed in 37 states, more than a third involved education savings accounts, state funding families could use for education expenses.
With Home Chef, you're home free when you're craving a home-cooked meal. Our oven-ready meal kits are easy to make and even easier to love. When it comes to making dinner, fill in the blanks with Home Chef. Delicious, meat simple. Get $90 off when you sign up at homechef.com.
Once I found Upstart, I was kind of relieved. They're interested in my background. They were looking at more than just my credit score. I was able to get my money fast. I was able to consolidate all of those credit cards into one payment.
Borrowing from Start was incredibly simple. The interest rates were incredibly attractive. Going through the process took just a couple of minutes. The approval process was basically instantaneous, and I got the money within a few days.
Did you know gravity and relativity were discovered by people working from home? Do you know what I discovered? Kale. Curly, dinosaur, red Russian, ornamental. Instacart opened my world to all kinds of discoveries. I discovered organic, wild caught, vegan lip gloss. I discovered this, that, these, and I'm just getting started.
Instacart. More stores, more to discover. Visit instacart.com or download the app to get free delivery on your first order.
Presenting Home Chef oven-ready meals. They're as easy as 1, 2, 3. Step 1. Combine the pre-chopped, pre-portioned ingredients. Step 2. Cook the meal in the oven-safe tin. Step 3. Chow down on the deliciously simple dinner-time taste sensation. Enjoy quality taste for a fraction of the effort with no prep, no mess, oven-ready meals. And in case you were wondering, Home Chef is the only leading meal kit to offer them. Get $90 off your first month at homechef.com.
Hope everyone is staying warm and dry out there. WKU women's basketball, we're scheduled to play at 6 on Thursday, but Western saw the weather and said, nope, we're moving this game right up. Top's trying to end their 2-game losing streak they saw last week and get back on track to the top of the conference. Right off tip, the freshman phenom, Maya Meredith, step back, cash. She finishing the night with 8 points. Now, WKU has seen this team before, and they have shooters. Melina Williams from the shortest spot in the arc. Money, 4 for 9 from 3 for Williams. Back at home, the Tops are almost unbeatable. Morel Abdelgawad, the Tops magic with the alley-oop layup from Hope Savory. Western leads by 5. But I said it once, and I'll say it again. The Niners have shooters. Octavia Jet Wilson, 3 names, 3 points. She gets space, and you can't get a better swish than that. The Tops would give up an 8-point lead in the fourth quarter and go on to lose in overtime 79-74, their third straight loss.
This one stings because they did everything well enough to win the game. And there's just some plays down the stretch and that hurt us. Some was our own doing, some were my fault, some was officials seeing the game differently than how we saw the game. But at the end of the day, we've been talking about before you can win big games, you got to learn how not to lose big games.
The men also in action Thursday against the 49ers in Charlotte, looking to end their tough 5-game losing streak. The Tops will look like the Tops of old that we're used to in the past, shooting 56% from the floor and 50% from 3 as they defeat Charlotte 78-59. It also seemed like they figured out their 3-point defense problem, holding Charlotte to only 6 threes on the night. Cam Justice led the way with 22 points, with Josh Anderson right behind him with 20. This also marks the first road win of the season for Western. And Davion Mintz tied his UK high with 21 points in Wednesday night's win over Vandy, but it happened thanks to his interaction with a fan on Saturday in Loris, Kansas.
Right after the Kansas game, I was walking out the locker room, and it was this little girl. She was like probably like a young teenager, and like she's crying her eyes out as she's walking up to me, and I'm like, "What's going on?" And she was just like, "I'm just so excited to meet you. This is my first time. You're my favorite player. I've been waiting a year." And I had 0 points. I didn't really even play a full half of a game, you know what I mean? And my heart was kind of heavy because I knew I had been struggling for a while, but just to realize that, God made me somebody that could make someone else feel special about themselves, that just sent me over the top.
The number 4 UofL women at Clemson looking for the program's 12th straight 21 season. It was close into the third quarter, but then their star, Haley Van Lith, scored a career-high 34 points. Cards win at 93-71. They are 20-2. And that does it for sports. We'll be right back.
Did you know gravity and relativity were discovered by people working from home? Do you know what I discovered? Kale. Curly, dinosaur, red Russian, ornamental. Instacart opened my world to all kinds of discoveries. I discovered organic, wild caught, vegan lip gloss. I discovered this, that, these, and I'm just getting started.
Instacart. More stores, more to discover. Visit instacart.com or download the app to get free delivery on your first order.
Nerds,
Have new money goals this year? NerdWallet can help make them happen. Like getting auto insurance to match your new 0-mile commute? We have tools for that. Want to refinance your mortgage and put those savings into the college fund? We have tips for that too. Or get a low-interest credit card for your long-awaited honeymoon? We can help you find the one. Credit card, that is. Discover and compare the smartest credit cards, mortgage lenders, and more on NerdWallet. For all your money questions, turn to the nerds.
Nerds! Chloe and Rennie went down the sand dunes.
Need a real adventure? Compare travel credit cards that help you book adventures beyond your backyard. Or compare cashback cards and turn everyday purchases into your next unforgettable experience. Compare your way there. Find the smartest financial products for you on NerdWallet.
A non-traditional student at WKU is weighing in on all the blessings God has given him. Amy Bingham shows us how this husband, father, student, and now amateur boxer is rolling with the punches in this week's View from the Hill.
Boxing is you will do as well as you prepare. So if I don't prepare right, I won't win. They say it's a sweet science, and it really is. Like, everything goes together.
Senior Latravius Robinson wears many hats, including amateur boxer.
I've always wanted to box. I thought I'd be good at it.
But during the day, he's here at WKU, working as a compliance associate in the Office of Research Integrity.
Just to say, hey, we need this to get done so that we can continue to get grants, and continue to fund your research.
Less than 4 years ago, Robinson, who has a wife and 8-year-old son, had never even heard of Bowling Green when a pastor visited his church in Richmond, Virginia, looking for volunteers to move here to plant a church.
I don't know why, man. I feel like it was the Holy Spirit, man. It was like, you need to go out there.
WKU was icing on the cake as Latravius, a non-traditional student working on a business degree in human resources, was able to transfer credits from Virginia Commonwealth University.
I can go to school there. I can finish my degree there. But then the specific concentration that I'm in is like one of the best, around.
Just 2 weeks after starting his campus job, the pandemic shut everything down.
So COVID hit, and everyone was home for, months on end. And so because of it, I ended up gaining like 30 pounds.
And that's where amateur boxing enters the picture.
When I first came in, I had no aspirations to compete. I just wanted to lose weight, and it was perfect for me.
Now he's having success in the ring and on the scale, shedding 25 pounds, realizing none of this would even be possible if God hadn't led him here to begin with.
I think God has been blessing me. I love it. I think it's a learning process that never ends.
With this week's View from the Hill, I'm Amy Bingham.
Robinson is looking forward to graduating with his bachelor's degree in May. We'll be right back with one more look at your forecast.
I finally got to start my career, except that I was spending thousands of dollars on interest on my student loans and I needed to refinance. And then I found Credible.com. Within just a few minutes, I had actual rates from lots of lenders. Now I'm saving thousands of dollars and I'll be out of debt much sooner. And I can focus on my future. It was so easy, I wish I had done it years ago.
Visit Credible.com to see how much you could save on your student loans.
Feeling crushed by private student loan debt? Take advantage of today's historically low interest rates. Refinancing your debt to a lower rate through Credible.com could reduce your monthly student loan payments or save you thousands on interest. Answer a few questions, and in 2 minutes, you could get actual pre-qualified rates from multiple lenders, not ballpark estimates. Checking rates doesn't impact your credit score, and we never sell your data. Visit Credible.com today and see how much you could save on your private student loans.
Nerds! Dreaming of a new home? Let's compare your way there. Before you buy, NerdWallet helps you easily compare rates and find the smartest mortgage for you. Use our regularly updated lists to compare cashback cards that reward you for furnishing your new space. And our pros and cons help you compare and find the best financial products for you, all in one place. Compare your way there. Find the smartest financial products for you on NerdWallet.
I'm just glad we don't have any more ice than we do.
Yes, and at least the temperature not dipping below 32 degrees until about 90 minutes ago has everything to do with that. I think that's going to greatly reduce our amount of icing here in Bowling Green. That said, there's still some wintry precip out there. You see that over western Tennessee between Nashville and Memphis. That's a mixture of sleet and freezing rain that is streaking to the northeast, so that's going to arrive in our area overnight. Watch out for icy travel. A little bit of light snow on the backside of this system. That should move out of here tomorrow morning, Gene.
All right, thank you, Shane, and thank you all for joining us. That's going to do it for WBKO News at 10.